Yes. Success.
Good morning, YouTube friends. Thanks so much for coming by and welcome to another episode of the Untamed Olive. Today we are making an incredibly simple mango red curry. It's the perfect recipe to use up all those extra veggies you've got lying around in your fridge. So if you want to see how to make it, keep on watching. Alrighty guys, so the inspiration for this recipe came from Thug Kitchen. Steve got me this cookbook for Christmas and I absolutely love it. It's really funny and there's some great recipes. This is the first one we're trying out so far. We just modified it a little bit to kind of go a little bit more with our taste and to go with what we had in the fridge. So along with using up veggies from the fridge, I find that one of the best ways to buy produce is early in the morning. This is where I found all these Manager Special organic veggies, so we shopped based off that, and then we're also using what we've got to use up in the fridge. I'm also going to list below all the ingredients that we used as well. I'm starting off with a bit of olive oil in a medium-sized pan here, and I'm turning it on medium, and then we're going to dump in half of a white onion and some pretty coarsely chopped garlic. And once these onions have softened up just a little bit, I'm going to add in some green beans. I just chopped them in half, so they're pretty big spears still, so we have a nice crunchiness going on in our sauce. And then we'll saute those for probably 3 or 4 minutes as well. Next up, we've got those Manager Special portobello mushrooms that were such a good deal. So I've just sliced them lengthwise and we're going to let them brown on each side to get all the flavors to come on out of there. And once we've let them brown for about 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to flip them, and then we're just going to add in our red peppers, those we had just in the fridge and needed to use up. So I coarsely chopped them as well, dumping them in. Going to get everything to soften up a little bit before we add our wet ingredients. So next up, we've got our red curry here. This is just a brand that they sell at our local Smith's Marketplace. The recipe called for 2 tablespoons. I think I've got about 3 here, and I actually ended up adding the entire jar because I felt like it needed a little bit more flavor. I'm adding some chopped up ginger as well. And then I'm just kind of mushing this around, getting it to incorporate throughout the entire pan. It smells amazing, just so you know. I wish there was a way for me to waft this smell into your computer or telephone. It's so good. Next, I'm adding a cup of vegetable broth. I actually just took a cup of water and dissolved a cube of bouillon in it. We're dumping that on in there. And then after we get our bouillon mixed up here, I'm going to add an entire can of full-fat coconut milk. we're just going to stir everything around until it's nice and creamy and mixed together. And we can't forget the star of our show, mango. This makes all the difference in the red curry. You can use a whole fresh mango. That's what the recipe calls for, but I find them really hard to find nice and ripe in Logan. So I just bought a bag of mango chunks and defrosted them in the fridge overnight. They're perfect. They're nice and tender and super sweet. So we're just gonna mix those in. And we're also gonna add a dash of soy sauce. About a tablespoon is what I used. And we're going to let all these flavors simmer, let everything get really soft. I actually went in and tried to break up the mango as it got warm just to get that flavor throughout everything. We're gonna let it simmer for about a half an hour and you'll be ready to go. You're just waiting for your veggies to be nice and tender. Okay, we've got a couple different options for how you can eat this curry. Of course, the options are limitless, really. But I have got some jasmine rice for Steve here, and I've got some kelp noodles for myself. If you haven't tried kelp noodles, you should. They're so good. You just have to know how to prepare them. If you soak them in a bit of warm water and lemon, they soften up just like a rice noodle, and they are 20 calories for that entire bowl and very low carb. So if you're trying not to do carbs at night or in general, they're awesome. I'll link below how you can find them. I find them at my local natural grocery store, or you can easily get them online. I will link my Amazon link below. Forgive the terrible lighting. My backlight mixed with it being dark outside did not quite work out. So here we've got Steve's on top of jasmine rice. Like I was saying, I just squirted a bit of fresh lime juice to brighten everything up, and we're gonna add a bit of fresh cilantro, and he's gonna be good to go. And we're gonna do the same thing to my nice and softened kelp noodles here. These are great for pad thai and for like a makeshift spaghetti. They're awesome. I'm totally hooked. Zero guilt noodles. They're great. Who knew there was such a thing, right? One thing I love about this curry is it's super, super bright and vibrant. I did end up adding some more roasted red pepper flakes. The recipe doesn't call for it at all. I like a little bit of heat in my curry, so definitely taste test and see what works for you. But the base of this recipe is really awesome. There's our lime juice and our cilantro. And then, cool part, you can do this for leftovers too. Okay, folks, day 2. Hey, Steve, video. Day 2, mango curry. This time we've got it with some naan and over some rice noodles.
I'm doing it with some miracle rice noodles. I'll link below what those are.
Give her a shot. Let me know how it goes. Thug Kitchen recipe. Yes. Still good, right? It's even better the second day, I think. A little more spicy. Yay, I'm glad you like it. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.